things. Are you all there? Are you all there, my dear friends? Are you all there? Hello, 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 hello. La da 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 da. Tell me that I'm late, tell me that I'm late, tell me that I'm late. It's because this fucking watch of mine says it is only 5 to 2. Am I late? Oh, this fucking this watch. Okay, it's been a bad day so far. It's been a bit of a rough day. It's been a bit of a rough day, my dear friends. You find me here with a horrendous sinus infection, which is now affecting my eye, which I can hardly see out of because I've gone all puffy and weird. So I'm half blind. I feel like I'm a pirate, like, ah, ah. So I literally can't see one eye. And what can I tell you? I'm sorry. And now I'm late. Darling Kevin. And now I'm late. I'm late because, Doug, mate, I'm on, mate, I'm on. And it's Akahild Nakamura and Kate Hills are in fact watching. This is great. Dean, hello, darling. I'm sorry I'm late, darlings, but my fucking watch, hello, Owen. Oh, I am but perfect. Yeah, I'm not. I'm a mess today. Sinus, I can't wear makeup. I can't wear anything. Got a bit of lippy on, of course. But, half blind in one eye and unable to hear. Now, I'm wearing headphones today because literally I can't hear. I can't hear in my ears. I can't hear in anything. But who cares? I have to do this because my life without you is worthless. Vincent, it's okay. For fuck's sake. No, Kate. Yeah, it's true. I'm a bit of a mess today, but I don't care. Because this is the most important thing in my whole day. Then I'm going to go back to bed. I'm going to go back to bed and just collapse and just be done and get over my sinus infection. It sucks, but you know what? I'm already feeling better just seeing your beautiful name. There's my sister. That's all I care about. There she is. I'm going to be all right. It's okay. This eye, nothing, cannot see a thing. There you go. Popeye. Yes, I am like fucking Popeye. Peter Barnett. So, for fuck's sake, we have the last songs of Happy This Way. Part 4. Can you believe it? Is this thing on? Is it? Is this thing on? Is it? Can you tell? Lippy is good. Thank you so much. Here, let me just check. I'll put on now the reverb. Let me tell me all if you can hear the reverb. There it was. Okay, so Gabe Nicotra has just managed to take me up to another level. I've got a foot pedal to get me in with the reverb and out with the reverb. Just sing, darling. No, Taryn, I'm going to talk. I don't have COVID, darling. I have a sinus infection. It's all right. I am known for my sinusitis, and this is a fucking humdinger. So, onwards. For fuck's sake. Here we go, darling. Thank you, Sue. Thank you. Salt water up the nose. Too late for that, mate. Salt water up the trough. I'm not a trooper. I just love you guys, and I need to do this to feel human. That's all I can say. It sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah, we've got the reverb, but it's all good. So, part 4, Happy This Way. So we ended last week, as you remember, with the fact that, this is the album where I was the turn in the road. I was getting there. I was getting towards health and happiness. But today's episode is all about family. Watch out, Sue. She knows what's coming. She knows it's coming. It's so hard. This bit is so hard. But this album had the song, of course, Happy This Way, about my mother and having good memories about my mother. But it also has the intrinsic family songs for me, the most important family songs. And so this episode is about family, the secrets we keep, emotional secrets we keep from each other, learning to be honest. But mostly it's about celebrating the people that we love. I know I make that joke in the Christmas show. It is about being with the people you love and sometimes your family. But honestly, I love my fucking family. I love my sister. I love my dad. That's all there is to it. That's our family. That's our core. And my mother, of course. But this is really about celebrating these people. It really is. So here we are. So now we all know, I've told you, I've spent years with those voices of self-doubt, the loop in my head telling me that I'm rubbish and shit and terrible. Don't we all? Well, women do. We are very used to this. But as an artist as well, I have that self-loathing. And then as a depressive, add to that the voices of dissension and the you're shit. And I always remember, pull up a chair. I always remember my mother-in-law, Dora, in her 80s, Harry's mother. She was the only child out of her family who survived the Holocaust. She came out of Poland to get the rest of her family out to America. Her job was to basically get everyone else to save them. And sadly, she didn't. She couldn't. And it's heartbreaking. And she's 19. So you imagine the survivor's guilt that that woman had, that she had her entire life. We sat down together over tea, and she told me in her mid-80s how she wishes she could make those voices in her head, the ones on the loop that told her how dreadful she was, stop. In her 80s, okay? Now this is, and I looked at her and I saw my future. I saw me in my 80s saying the same thing unless I got my shit together and really got some more, kept working, kept getting better, kept getting health. And that's what I really thought was, good God, yeah. And by the way, that's how it is for all of us if we don't get to the crux of this and find out what the damage is and why we're still feeling that way. I still have my self-doubts, of course, but here's the difference. When I hear myself, and I catch myself sometimes having a conversation with myself. Do you do that? When I'm like, and then I'm going to tell them, and then, yeah, but then if they say this, and then what if, and when I catch myself having the conversation with me, and then another me inside, and then the other me who's saying all the shit, I decide to lift the needle off the record. I lift the needle, I drop the rope, I lift the needle, and I stop the fucking loop, and I take it away and stop it. I do my best to try, but at least I know what's going on now, you see. So I'm forever grateful to Dora, who, as you can imagine, had unimaginable pain in her because of her life and the things that she couldn't do for her family. I felt such compassion for her. And I thought, as I was sitting down to tea with her, talking with her, I thought, how can I have so much compassion for her? How can she have so much compassion for me, knowing what I've gone through? And yet neither of us can be compassionate towards ourselves or kind to ourselves. That's why I wrote this song, Sympathy. She sat before me and told me how she'd put an end to the pain right here and now, to that old squeaky wheel, the noose around her neck. She said, enough is enough, I've paid my debts. She's got a hole in her head where the rain fell through. She's cared for so long, there's nothing she wouldn't do for everyone everywhere but herself. She said, I'm so tired of only having sympathy for everybody else. I need some sympathy for myself. She's so hard on herself, to everyone she's kind. She believes in the lie someone put in her mind, to that old squeaky wheel, the noose around her neck. She says, enough is enough, I've paid my debts. She's got a hole in the head where the rain fell through. She cared for so long, there's nothing she wouldn't do for anyone everywhere but herself. She says, I'm so tired of only having sympathy for everybody else. I need some sympathy for myself. Myself. Ponies and horses, apples and pears, everyone's different, nobody's spared. Well, I met a woman, she told me straight that at 80 and aging, she's still full of self-hate. I want to stop it. I want it to end. I want me and myself to be the best of friends. I'm so tired of all this anguish of my critical self. I'm so tired of only having sympathy for everybody else. I need some sympathy for myself. I need some. I've got sympathy for everybody else. I need some sympathy. I need some sympathy. I need some sympathy for myself. I need some sympathy. for myself. Thank you. We all need sympathy for ourselves. You got sympathy for the devil, for God's sake. Do you know what? Doesn't matter how shit I feel. And I've literally sung with 103 temperature. The minute I start singing, it's all okay. It's an amazing thing what an adrenaline will do, you know. Ah, yeah, makes those chickens run. But ultimately, thank you so much. It's the truth. We feel so much more kindness and empathy and understanding and appreciation for others. The hardest job is to feel it for yourself, to forgive yourself for what you feel, for who you are, for what you've gone through, for what you've become. You know, good and bad. It's the acceptance, isn't it, and forgiveness. So, yeah, I'm always very happy that I wrote that song. And so moving on from that, you know, again, it turns out that when you keep those secrets, as we all do, you know, when you have a problem with saying the truth, of actually sharing and opening up yourself, thank you, Gabrielle, you really, you know, you really feel double the pain when you hold it in and you don't share it. Like I said, she'd come from Poland and what she'd gone through in her life. It was so hard, and yet we had so much in common. She'd come all the way that way around the world. And it was the right choice. You know, she did the thing that not just to save herself, but hopefully to get her family out. That didn't work, of course, tragically. But she lived. In a completely different way. Completely different way. Thank you so much, Fred. Hi, Sean. Hello, darling. In a completely different way. I came 6,000 miles in order to be with the man that I love, but also to have a second start, to have as she did, to have a chance at another life where I'd left the ghosts behind, the things that made me the most ill behind. I mean, they don't leave behind, they come with you, but I came here to be in this relationship, but also to get well, as you know. And so we had that in common. We had that feeling of being far away from the people that we love, from the place that we knew, from our homes. I came to heal a bad brain, and she came to save her life, which is why, you know, when people talk about immigrants, you know how I feel about this, and about the wall and the building and keeping people out. And I say, fuck you, because you know what? Nobody leaves their home and comes all this way for nothing, for no reason. It's usually for pretty fucking great reason, let me tell you. But anyway, so, and I'd always gone between the US and UK, back and forth between California, here, New Orleans. So here, welcome to New Orleans. You can see, of course, I got some of my regalia out, some of my costumes out for you to see, my beautiful headdress. And the big nose in the back, you know, the big doctor's nose there. Remember that? Yeah. The Black Plague. That was fun. But I remember thinking, you know, I did that for all the right reasons, and you leave for all the right reasons because you must, because you have to. But my God, it was so hard then going back home, and Sue knows this, you know, how we feel about, I'd see Sue and my sister and my dad, and it was just, I love them so much. And I loved them, being with them so much. It was incredible. And of course, every time we left each other, it was heartbreaking. It killed you, and it was just so hard to leave. But, you know, and the interesting thing is how we all learn to cope with these things that we feel, because at that time I couldn't say how I really felt. I couldn't say how much it was killing me inside to leave and how homesick I was. So there'd always be this terrible separation. My dad would laugh and make light of it. I would get all cold and distant in order to, you know, typical of me, a bit superior in order to be able to deal with it. My sister would cry. Thank God somebody could. I mean, I just wished I could cry. I'd get on the plane after we'd all separated, and I'd sob my fucking eyes out and then wonder, why can't I do this in front of them? Why can't I show? Well, because there were these rules, you know, these unspoken rules that this is how we behaved, I suppose. I cry now, but I couldn't then. And I'd be sobbing on the plane, you know, thinking about my dad, thinking about my sister, my fabulous, wonderful big sister, you know, and our lives growing up together. She was always my best friend. She still is, you know. She's blushing. She's blushing hearing this. And we'd be playing Cowboys and Indians the Garden. She'd always end up tying me to a tree and burying me in a pit. By the way, that's before we all knew how wrong the whole Cowboys and Indians thing was. We didn't really know about genocide at that point. So we were just being innocent children. But, you know, it is incredible how we all deal with things differently in order. And I think about Dora just the same. I think about all of us who don't know quite how to deal with our emotions and how we put on this front, how we put on this face to deal with them. But of course, you know, it's just because we feel so much. It's because we feel so fucking much that we do this. Otherwise, we'd be just like, oh, I don't care, just leaving. So I wrote this song. I wrote this song about Sue and how much I wished I could cry, but I was so grateful that she could. And I wish she knew. I hope that they both knew how much I really felt. So this is a song called We're Only Human. Suzanne's crying, I know she is, because she's leaving us today. I wear my brave face, that is how it is. One of us falls apart, the other pulls away. But we're only human. We're only human. That's the least, that's the most that I can say. We're only human. We're only human. And I wouldn't want it any other way. Never gets better being miles apart. It's not quite the same thing on the phone. We need the distance to be who we are. Both of us busy but still so lonely. But we're only human. We're only human. That's the least, that's the most that I can say. We're only human. We're only human. And I wouldn't want it any other way. And we're playing in the garden, dressing up in engines. You with your big cowboy hat on, just the two of us, just the two of us. I'd be listening, you'd be leading. Isn't it enough, isn't it enough that there's just 10-hour flights between us? But when you leave us, it's still so hard. It's still so hard. And we're only human. We're only human. That's the least and that's the most that I can say. We're only human. We're only human. And I wouldn't want it any other way. Suzanne's crying, I know she is, because we're leaving her today. I wear my brave face, that is how it is. One of us falls apart, the other pulls away. Oh my gosh. If only. Thank you so much. If only I could get on a plane right now and be the brave face and let my sister cry. Oh, thanks, Sue. Love you so much. But if only we get on a fucking plane and do that, you know. I can cry now, and I do, and I do. Thank God, Mark. Thank you, darling. But isn't it funny how it's like, Pedro Segundo is watching. Hey, Nicola. It's, it's interesting, the things that we do in order to, you know, it's like if you all cry, then somehow the world will come to an end. So you can't all cry. Somebody's got to be strong. Not really. You can all fucking cry, really. But ultimately, yeah, these are the things we do. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. And I've saved the hardest one for last. I mean, it had to come. I've been putting it off. On a Sunday afternoon. Do you have a glass of red wine? Are you smacking it back there, whether you're in America or in Britain? Thank you, Sue. Now, you know, what can I say? Like I said, you go through life hiding so much. I come from a very stoic Welsh family. I think we all know this. And, you know, stoic is the word. I mean, it really is, isn't it? It's just get over, you know, lost a limb, get over it, mate. Come on, there's harder things in life. Just, you know, hop along. British people, Welsh people, British people, we all know, we would rather talk about gardening, the weather. Oh, the weather's a big one. Weather's a big one. Weather, gardening, dogs, oh my God, any excuse. And definitely politics. Get angry about politics. We can just vent, get the emotions out that way. We would rather say that ever than the stuff that really, really counts, because the stuff that really, really counts kind of gets stuck here, you know, where this giant fucking thing is. It's just, yeah, you could, I do coke off this, obviously. No, I'm joking. No, this is, what about that? Anyway, where this is, underneath this is my chest, heart. So the stuff gets stuck here because it means so much. And the less you say it, and the less you get used to saying it, the more it gets stuck in here. It's just trapped. And then your chest hurts. Thank you, darling. Thanks so much. Gardening, weather, dogs. Tea, of course. Yes, what tea? What tea should we have? Oh, my God. What do I have enough tea? What is the milk? Is it the milk fresh? Oh, my God, another bin's out. Fuck. Is it? Other bin's out. And is the car clean? Oh, my God, I got to wash the car. So, anyway, you know, I do think that British people have a problem, and I think it's also a you know, a generational thing. But the you know, trying to say what you feel and how you really genuinely feel to your parents. Oh my good God, of a certain generation, it's just brutal. And I'm sure it's got better now, you know. But it was very hard with stoicism and all the rest of it. So and I'm a chip off the old block. You know, I learned like my father. The opera singer, of course, fabulous opera singer. I learned the way to express myself was through music, and that's really why I did it, because it was the only way I could bloody well say what I really felt about people and about how I felt and express myself. And it became the tool by which I could tell people, like the last song, how I felt about them. And that was the only way I could. I can do it now. It's easy. I can tell, you know, I can tell all the people I love them. And that's marvelous. And but I am a chip off the old block, because that's exactly what my dad did. And he'd go and play the piano, and that's how he would, you know, vent. And he didn't, like me, like everybody else, like most artists, he didn't realize how much his art and how much his voice, how much his talent affected other people. I always remember this party that we went to in LA. It was, you know, see, you remember, a Christmas party with friends, and he sat down and played some on the piano, and he sang some Welsh folk songs, and people were just like, we were so used to it, you know, and you know, with your parents, you're always slightly self-conscious, you know, slightly sort of apologetic. Oh my God. And, but everybody was like crying and emotional and moved. And it's like, he had no idea how much it affected people. He had no idea. So I wrote this next song for my father, and it's for all of us who love our fathers, miss our fathers, can't say this to our fathers, want to say it to our fathers. To thank him, really, for the incredible life that my sister and I had growing up, being able to go to the opera all the time, having that magical environment. More importantly, waking up in the morning and hearing him doing his scales and getting ready to go to the opera house. It was the sign. It was the bell that said that life was okay, that things were okay. It was the continuity. It was the safety. He was the rock, it seemed, and that music, it was the rock in our home, where there was a lot of fear and worry for my mother and about my mother. There was a dark cloud. There was darkness. There was sadness. There was worry, always. And he was the person that was just consistently there. The strength, that was it. And so I wanted to let him know what that meant, how important that was, how grateful I am, how unbelievably grateful I am that I got his lungs and his ability and his musicality and everything else. And I saw that look in his eyes that lit up, that his face lit up when he sang. And that's when I knew there was nothing else for me, really. And so he needed to hear it. And I needed to say it. And I'm so glad I did. This is my father's voice. Oh, my father's voice was a very special thing. And when I went to sleep, I knew I'd wake to hear him sing. And every morning when he warmed up, there was hope that it would bring. In the joy in his face when he reached that hallowed place, and I made my choice. I chose my father's voice. Oh, my father's voice was a very special thing. And in our house of mirrors, there was safety it would bring. And the clouds above my bedroom, they would part and show me spring. And my pride lost its will, and my sadness reached its fill, and I had no choice. I chose my father's voice. Oh, my father's voice is still a very special thing. And yet he doesn't seem to understand the pleasure that it brings to all my friends who love him when he sings Old Christmas hymn. And I'm proud, I'm pleased that through him they must see me. I'm the acorn, he's the oak, heart-strong, heartfelt bloke. Oh, I had no choice. I am my father's voice. Oh, my father voice. So, thank you, Mark. And I'm so proud. The Welsh flag comes up, and the Welsh flag comes up. You beam with happiness. I do. I do. I beam. I beam. It's how you know I haven't had Botox and fillers, because it's like my face breaks up into a million splintering pieces as it should do. Thanks, Steve. Because honestly, I'm so glad I wrote that, because I knew of no other way to tell him what I felt and how much it meant and how grateful I was and how deep my love was for him and for what he did. So that really was, like I said, I needed to say it. He needed to hear it very badly. So, and I'm so glad I did. It made a huge difference. It made a big difference to both of us and to our relationship. I must say. So those are the last songs. Oh my God, we closed the book. We closed the blue folder of pithiness on Happy This Way. For fuck's sake, where did that go? Thank you, Taryn. So you know what's up next? I tell you what's up next. The Beautiful Damage. Yes, it is. The Beautiful Damage is up next. We've only got, I think, like 5 more things to go. And then, of course, we have to 5 or 6. And then, of course, we have to jump onto the unheard before, brand new. We've never heard them before. They're absolutely the songs that were never released. Yes, we have to do those next. Now, there's another video coming. I'm so glad that you enjoyed Morally Delinquent. It's about fucking time, isn't it, that we saw that again. Oh, I don't know why it would suit the occasion right now. But let's just say, Lord be damn it. Let's just get another fucking right-wing judge in. And let's just keep going, shall we? And just keep lying. Really, why not? What's the matter with that? I, again, recommend you all to read the Michael Cohen book. Please. Not that I want him to make money or anything, but oh my God. Yes, thank you, Jeffrey. Believe me, it's a winner. It's the best one of the lot. I swear to God. Amazing. In addition to that, of course, you know about the Chris Gifford incredible songbook club, the album that he mentored, that he basically curated. Beautiful Hannah, oh my God, Hannah, what can we say? Royal nurse that took the most remarkable photographs I've ever seen in my entire life. You will see them. Go immediately and watch the video, the first video, Jessie and the Leonards working on the front line, and with the fabulous Jessie Buckley singing it. And it is a remarkable video. Please go and watch that, because it features Hannah's Jew's amazing photographs. I'm happy to say that I'm going to be putting together for my song on the album, I'm going to be putting together a compilation, or that very thing, of all of Hannah's exquisite photographs for the song I wrote, which to her photos, they are so inspiring for those nurses, called and it has to be done. And we thank these people so much, because God knows Britain's about to have another lockdown. No, I'm sorry, it's not a lockdown, it's circuit breaking, isn't it? What was I thinking? As we all careen towards winter and times when we can't go out anymore, let's all just think how lucky we are to have had these beautiful summer and September months that we're going to... Let's just go Swedish. No, don't. For God's sake, they didn't work, the herd immunity. Let's just go Scandi. Let's sit outside. Let's have the patio heaters on top of us. Let's just cover ourselves in fake fur or real fur. Let's do the alfresco Scandi way. We'll all be so much healthier for it, let me tell you. But I'm looking forward to Wednesday. I'm looking forward to starting, oh, darling hugs, to starting the next album with you all. But until then, you know the drill. I will not be late. I will not be blind in one eye. And I might actually not be deaf. What the fuck? For fuck's sake. This has been For Fuck's Sake. You have been watching with me. You know the drill. Continue to wear those masks, 6 feet, wash those hands. Yes, let's all have a nice big For Fuck's Sake, darlings, because we're getting through this. We're getting through. We are pulling through. You're helping to get me through. God knows, I hope I'm doing the same. But let's just keep on going on this one, my beautiful community. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you all so much. I will see you Wednesday with more music, more laughs, 2 working eyes and ears. I love you all. Take good care of yourselves. See you Wednesday. Mwah! Bye, guys. I'm coming in. Here you go. You can see that. Oh, my God.